Everyone, this is Steve Weintraub with Collider. We're here at the Cinema Center at the Toronto International Film Festival. I really want to give a huge thank you to Range Rover Sport for being our sponsor. It's allowing us to be here and championing both indies, small, huge movies, and thank you so much. Jumping into why I get to talk to you guys for the assessment, I really want to start with congratulations. This is my kind of movie because it's one of those where you watch it the first time, and if you watched it again, you would take so much more out of it. There's so much going on. No one's seen it yet. How have you been describing it to people?
So I think it's like in a future world, not so far from us today, in a society where you are not allowed to have kids without an authorization from the state. We have a couple that is Lizzie and Himesh, Mia and Aaryan, and that are going to be assessed for a week. And the assessor is played by Alicia. And she's going to be there for a week with them to say to check and test them and see if they are able to be good parents.
For the three of you, what was it like reading the script for this one for the first time, and what made all three of you say, "Oh yes, I need to be in this"?
I think it's a really elegant way of telling a story about this specifically. I think it's cinematic. I think there's no very obvious, clear agenda, and it's a story about these people who desperately want to be parents, and they are questioning why that is as throughout the film, and they're in a world that is gets to control how we live our lives in order to live longer, while these people are trying to bring new life into the world. And I think telling that story through this absurd situational humor was really exciting. And so it was really the way it was being told, I found refreshing.
Well, you were attached when I actually read the script, and I knew Fleur's work and yours, so that was a big part too.
Yes, I have to talk about Fleur's work. I didn't talk about Fleur's work. Yes. No, I agree. We both are fangirls of Fleur so much.
Yeah. Her music videos and what she's done, and when I read the script and knowing what, the kind of plays with genre in this world, and trying to figure out what that looks like, I was so intrigued to know that Fleur was gonna make this her film and debut feature. So that was a big part of why I wanted to do it. And the script itself, for me it was a page turner. You said it's your type of film. It's kind of like my type of film that it's entertaining. I felt like it kept me on my toes. I didn't know what was going to happen next. I was like, where is this going? If I thought it was one type of film, it turned out very quickly it was maybe something else. And it happened a few times throughout the script. And then it was the role of the assessor that does, she kind of has a mystery to her. And so there was definitely things there that drew me to wanting to try and play her.
I agree with you about the script. I couldn't stop reading it. I thought it was amazing, and the world was so clear to me on the page. And then when I saw Fleur's work, I could just see it being, cinematically stunning. These two were attached, so that was a huge pull for me because I think they're pretty good at acting.
Let's not build them up too much.
Okay. Sorry. But so that was very big pull for me, and I loved the role, and I was excited to dive into that world.
So you mentioned already, but this is your directorial debut, and how much did you debate like what kind of film you wanted to make for your debut feature?
I think I wanted to do a movie that was because it was my first, a bit special and a bit offbeat, but at the same time very entertaining. So I worked for years on the script to work on the characters and make them with a lot of depth and more complex, and also to make the situations like, as Alicia said, as you stay on the edge of your seat, but at the same time that you have that dark humor that is a bit awkward, that you're uncomfortable, and then you're crying and you're laughing. I think that today we are allowed to do movies that are a mix of genre. And I love that. I don't want to do, if there's a bit of sci-fi, I don't want to make it like obvious. I try to be off the road, but at the same time create a universe that you can relate to, so it feels still emotional. So that's what I was trying to do.
Sure. But the other thing is you have the challenge of basically filming a lot in one location, and that house and that one location. Like, so talk a little bit about the challenges of filming there and trying to make it cinematic and keeping the audience off balance while you're filming.
Yeah, exactly. That was a big challenge. Like to have to be in French, you say like huis clos, like one set. It's almost like a piece of theater. So I was like, whoa, it has to be like all about the performance. So that's why we talked and I worked so much on that. But then the universe in the background, the house is so important. I think it's when I scouted like Tenerife, which is like very volcanic and windy and like with a weird energy, and that wind that is constant is a kind of threat also. And it set a bit the universe, and we decided with the production designer, like Aaryan, that there would be no woods because there's no forest left. So then it's all concrete. Then it's like the windows, it's stained glass. It gives you an intention for what you see. And after I knew I didn't want to do like the obvious sci-fi, like white, minimal, very clinical. So I was more into like a 70s retrofuturism, but at the same time more grounded. So it feels like a kind of, it could be our world, but it feels like slightly different.
No, completely. So this is a question for everyone, and I ask it in all my interviews here at TIFF because it always leads to an interesting answer. So for all of you guys, what day did you have circled on the shoot in terms of I can't wait to film this? And what day was circled in terms of how the F are we going to film this? And of course, without spoilers.
Can it be the same scene?
100%.
I think it's gonna be
It's definitely
like
the same scene for me.
Yeah. No?
It's a scene that takes place in a kitchen. Which is kind of, you know, a pivotal moment in my character when she reveals a different side to her.
I know, I hate saying this, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I understand why you would say that.
I think I couldn't wait to shoot. There's a dinner scene where things expand from it just being the three of us, and I was very excited for that. And there's another scene that I can't really talk about that I was a bit like, how are we going to shoot that, which is our scene, which was very sort of a dark moment, but yeah.
I was really curious how we were going to shoot a scene that happens outside with natural elements, because that was all real, and I was very curious you can only do it once, and we did it, and that was really wild to do.
It's interesting. It's like, you know, the elements, the weather. It's like having, you know, dogs or children. On a set, you know, and it can give you so much, and it can make something incredible. You know, but it's also like you never know what you're gonna get. You know.
Yeah.
This is one of those, and I hate saying this. This is a tricky one to talk about because there's so much that you don't want to ruin for the audience. You know what I mean?
That's why I really stumbled in your first question. I was like, well, what am I doing? I'm getting lost.
Yeah, because it's like you really want to go into the theater not knowing. I want to have, you know, hopefully the audience will have, you know, a grander experience than the one I had, but what I had when I read the script the first time. You know, that thing of just like not knowing what was going to happen on the next page.
You want the audience to feel tested in a certain way.
Yeah, because in a way, they're on the journey that, you know, Lizzie's and Himesh's character are on. They're going into this blindly. So in the future, these couples, they know that other friends of them who have children have had to go through this, but there's a, you know, no one is allowed to talk about their experiences. So but hopefully the audience will be on the same kind of mysterious journey as they are.
You guys have all seen the finished film.
Yeah.
Yes, but not like with music and special effects.
And so the premiere is later today?
Yes.
Oh, so you're going to have an experience. You've seen it?
A couple of times.
Right, exactly. I can't imagine what it's going to be like. You're sitting through with the audience, right?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to see with an audience.
I mean, it's going to be an experience, especially because what I said at the beginning, which is when you watch this for the second time, or when you finish the movie, you will start thinking back, and you'll be talking about it.
Yeah, and I think also no one really knows what we made. Like there wasn't a lot of, we didn't make any big announcements. There was never like, it was, it feels really,
it feels like no one knows we made this film.
And so it's really exciting.
Also just excited to watch it in a cinema with an audience, which is a diminishing experience, sadly. And I'm just excited to see what we did on a big screen.
Childless, out of work actor. it's your activity 4 times a week.
I'm just about out of time, but as you know it, and I apologize, I need to ask your actors just a quick individual question. As you guys know, the fan base of Collider is a fan of all 3 of you. I have individual questions if you don't mind. I'm incredibly excited for the franchise.
Thank you.
Me too. I'm so excited.
I am
I've
so.
been asking about it since we were shooting. How was it?
Yeah,
so
I just shot the pilot. Yeah.
So for people that don't know, what can you say about it? What can you say about hope, which is something that I'm very curious about, and I of course have to ask you, and I know you're not going to answer me. Has anyone named the Russo brothers called and asked you to save any dates next year?
I know none of those things.
That was yours. Yeah, sorry. On to me. I'm picking up. Hope. I mean, Hong Jin-na is like, I'm the biggest fan of his films. Busan Film Festival in Korea was my first international film festival that I ever went to when I was 21 or something, and kind of discovered Korean cinema. Wow. And so Hong Jin-na I had followed. Then The Wailing that he did, I thought was absolutely incredible. And so that I was invited to come and join him on this film, Hope. I was so intrigued.
Can you tell people what it's about?
I don't think so.
Oh, then don't. I don't want to get you in trouble.
No, and it's also like his film. Have you seen The Wailing?
Yes.
Yeah, because that is also one of I had no clue what was going to happen. It becomes quite a journey and a ride too. And I kind of think that this film should have the same,
Yeah, I definitely don't want to get anyone in trouble or ruin a movie like The Assessment.
The franchise, I'm very excited. It's coming out in about a month or so, something like that.
I don't know. It can't be coming out in a month.
It's coming out pretty
October,
soon.
You said, right?
Yeah,
Wait,
it's coming out
really?
in the fall. Yeah,
I honestly didn't know.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's coming out very soon. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm going to be talking about it more.
It's fun to have
it's not coming out
my
that soon.
question and then you have your question because we're related. But I genuinely know nothing and am never filled in with things. And I wonder how much that is a part of your show.
Yeah, there's a bit of that.
Like truly,
but it's more.
I found out about like Downey being in the movie
when it happened.
Like a movie again.
Well, this is about sort of the
Did
process
you hear about
of
that? And I was like, no.
This is about the inside, the making of the movie.
Yeah.
Which of course I know you're very experienced in. While you're finding stuff out like that, and it's affecting your movie at every turn. And I play the first AD who's just trying to keep everything together.
First AD standing there trying to hold it all together.
It's so brilliant.
God bless all first ADs. Is all
Also, you should mention the talent of the people who are writing, creating this show, because it's another level.
Amazing. Armando Iannucci produced it. John Brown is our showrunner, and this up-and-coming director, Sam Mendes, he directed the pilot. He's a guy. Look out for that guy.
Yeah. He's got some heat behind him right now.
Yeah.
And my individual question for you: you clearly know what you're doing behind the camera. Are you already looking at other scripts and thinking about what you might do for another feature?
Yeah, I might do like another feature. Hopefully, I shoot it next year. Like it's an I don't know how much I can say about it. It's an Italian writer, Ilaria Bernardini, and it's an adaptation of a book. And it's named, the book was like Anonimo Veneziano. It's like it's all Italian.
I don't want to get you in trouble by revealing too much, but I'm just going to say that I'm looking forward to what you're doing next. And for the three of you, I really want to thank you for the work you do. It's very entertaining, and I'm just a really big fan. So thank you for what you do.
Well, thank you so much
Thank
for having
you.
me.
Thank you.
And I really sincerely cannot wait to talk about the movie in more specifics.
Thank you.
We'll
Thanks.
see you soon.
For real. And on that note, more TIFF interviews on Collider soon.